Hello, I'm Father Lou Scurti with Friends of the Word, the weekday word. Today my guest, once again, is Nick Gemma, member of Annunciation Parish here in Wayne, New Jersey, and the Grand Knight of the Knights of Columbus. Welcome, Nick.
Thank you, Father.
Nick has been on a few of our episodes, and the focus of his interviews have been the Knights of Columbus. And here you see a picture of Father Michael McGivney, who was the founder of the Knights of Columbus. He died in 1890. He was a priest, and he was employed by the Archdiocese of Hartford, Connecticut. And as a founder of the Knights of Columbus, he really has made an impact on people's lives throughout the world for a great number of years. McGivney was born to Irish immigrants in Connecticut and died in Connecticut in 1890. The work that he did was so philanthropic, so caring for the community. You had mentioned that one of the first things he organized was caring for the widows of a particular community. Could you explain that again?
Well, through his own experiences as growing up as a child, he experienced firsthand the difficulty of trying to keep a family going without a number one wage earner,
right,
without a father.
Right.
And when he became a priest and had his own parish, and saw the same type of situations developing as you would, he decided that he was going to do something to try and alleviate difficulties that particularly the widows were facing, right, as their husbands were passing on. So he developed a fraternal group of parishioners, of men in the parish, who would contribute financially as well as physically. Spiritually, they would help, they would pray for these individuals. They would help them with their chores, help them with problems with the home, etc., and just do whatever they could to help these women survive.
So they raised funds to assist. They physically got involved with, and sometimes even though today they build and repair. They got involved spiritually, which is, as a Catholic, that's the most important. The foundation of our faith is Christ. And these are Knights of Columbus. I don't know why they're not Knights of Christ, but the Knights of Columbus. But that's all right. We'll let that.
It's interesting that McGivney chose Columbus.
Columbus, forerunner.
I'm happy he did.
I'm glad he did. The Italians are happy that an Irishman chose Columbus as a role model. But that's great. I mean, he forged ahead. He went ahead. And he organized almost like a crusade, as you've said before, like crusaders on a mission. And the mission is love, the mission is charity, the mission is caring, the mission is life. How do you guys get involved here? And I say guys specifically because the Knights are a fraternal organization. It's men, and they do have a component of women called the Columbiettes, but I'll get one of the Columbiettes for a future show. How's that?
Okay. Well, unfortunately, we do not have a chapter of the Columbiettes in our particular council.
Okay.
We have an unofficial. We're called Our Wives. And without them, we would be lost.
Believe me, I know your wives. I know exactly.
They help us out a tremendous amount.
Your wife makes sure you got here on time, too, today.
I know. She's probably going to see this, so I have to give her.
Absolutely. Okay. What do and what have you done here at Annunciation in the years the Knights have been established here?
Primarily, our main focus is to help the needy. And one of the ways is we have been supporting both our food pantry here at the church.
Very, very important.
And the food pantry here in the diocese. Okay? We supply food for the pantry in a number of different ways. We have a number of fundraisers that we take part in during the year. Sometimes we'll just send a check to Father the English Center or Eva's Kitchen, because we have found that they can get a lot more with their dollar than we can get with our dollar.
Yeah, through the community food bank, they pay a percentage per pound of food, whatever the food is, like 16 cents.
The dollar goes a lot longer
yes.
for them. We also run, as we mentioned before, a number of pancake breakfasts during the year. One of them is solely dedicated to the food pantry. We ask people, rather than pay us money to come in for pancakes, they bring a bag of groceries.
Great.
The first time we ran it, the response was unbelievable. We had like 75, 80 bags of groceries, and it's been great.
This is a generous parish. This is a very generous parish.
Well, and the last one we do, the last pancake breakfast we do is a free thank you pancake breakfast, because it is such a great parish. Yes. They support us in everything we do.
And the pastor, Monsignor, I got to give him a little plug after all. Yes. Monsignor Peter Duty is the chaplain.
He's our chaplain.
And pastor of Annunciation.
And helps us every way he can.
That's great.
Obviously, that's important. You need support.
Yeah, you need from spiritual leadership.
We don't have our own building. We don't have our own facility. So we rely very heavily on the church.
That's interesting. Do some parishes have their own?
Some councils.
Councils at a parish.
Have their own buildings.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
But most of them are old. Because old meaning old councils, and they've been around for a long, long time, had a substantial amount of money that they could do that with, and then they built these facilities or bought them when things were a lot cheaper than they are today. And a lot of them are having difficulty running them in this day and age as well. Sure. But if you don't have one now, it's very hard to do it because of the cost factor.
I want to just give you guys a plug to young adults, young male adults, who are interested in serving your neighbor, your brother Jesus, and the community to get involved with the Knights of Columbus. And you can do that very, very easily by www.kofc. So knightofcolumbus.org. Or contact me at Father Lou Scurti at hotmail.com. Because I think our young people today latch on to service projects so quickly. When I was at the university, there wasn't a service project that kids weren't there to be part of, whether it was building homes, whether it was going down to Katrina recovery. And the Knights have sponsored so much of that, haven't they?
Absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because the shift, I can see a shift coming in recent years to where younger people are more interested in becoming knights than had been in the past. It was just considered to be an old man's work.
Yeah, that's true.
And not everywhere.
Yeah.
Because in overseas, that's not been the case.
Oh, interesting.
Overseas, it's been younger people have been involved for quite a while.
Good.
But here, it's not been that way. But we're seeing a change in that.
Excellent.
We're seeing right here in our own parish, we're getting younger men joining and interest shown by younger men. And obviously, that's the lifeblood of any organization.
Sure,
So,
exactly.
I appreciate you asking our young people to take notice of this, because we need them.
The imagery and the fanfare that goes with the decorative part of the Knights is interesting. The capes, the hats, the swords. You want to talk about them, or just?
Well, they're called the color guard.
The color guards, okay.
Color guard, and they are an unbelievable, great bunch of men who give so many hours. It's all volunteer to make the presence of the Knights visible.
Yes.
Okay? At funerals, at special events like your 9/11 ceremonies. Without them, it wouldn't be as special as it is.
Right. I got to say, private story. The last time we had the 9/11, the Knights came. Okay, they precede the priest, which is interesting, because the police, firemen, all went down, and they said, no, we'll go right before the priest, okay? And they had their hats, the flowers, and the plumes, I should say, and the capes. And I said to one of them, next year, I want to wear that cape and play with that sword. So he promised me yes. This has been Father Lou Scurti interviewing Nick Gemma on the Knights of Columbus and its founder, Father Michael McGivney. Thank you for joining us, and Nick, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Father.
And keep in touch. Contact me at fatherlouscurti@hotmail.com. God bless you.